Okay, so I know y'all see the world is that. I don't know what that is. So I know y'all seen the title, and you must have been like, okay, I don't understand what this is. She must be crazy. She must be tripping. No, I'm not. You know, and certain things started to creep into the adoption, and I'm not having it. So I kind of feel like I made that decision with the child for that weekend. When it comes to my son, I will make that. I will not hesitate making that decision again. The thing is, it's depressing because, um, again, dealing with her, a family member got completely attached to her. And when my son came, my son was on a monitor. He was very tiny and he needed a lot of attention. So that person, offered to help, watch my child and, just for like one day a week, maybe 4 hours, and those who have preemies know that those 4 hours, you don't get no break. You don't get to go to sleep, but there is a reprieve that at least you can focus on that child, especially when you have more than just that child. And if you only have that child, then you understand when somebody comes in to help take that load off for 4 hours, that 4 hours can seem like, a paradise vacation, because you're dealing with a 1 year old. And well, she gave me a 14 months, 15, 16, so 16, 17 months, and he was 3 months, but he was newborn, in a way. So, like I said, she would do that, and then like he went into the hospital the second time, and uh, and this time he had pneumonia. So, like this family member, was, going to, just take her to church or whatever the case may be. But it got to a point where uh, I made several phone calls, and they went unanswered. So I went and I picked up my child and I brought her home, and that child was never to go with that family member again. Nothing happened. And the fact of the matter is, you know, all you had to do was have respect for me as the mom. You know, you what happened was the respect that I was the mom was lost, and it became a fact of do what I want, do what I say, and if not, I'm going to cause the scene. And I kind of felt like after that, they were like, well, I didn't have no right to stop her from seeing the child again and things like that. But yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I wholeheartedly stand by it, even to this day. In retrospect, them not showing up, me having to cancel his birthday party worked out because um, I moved into this house. But, you know, like, I'm not going to trail off topic, so I'll just get right to it. I said the other day, I should have just been a whore. You know, I decided to become a foster mom. My twin niece's birth mother had cases with CYS with her older brothers, and that family had known CYS cases. So I kind of figured from a little birdie, it would have been a certain situation that would come up, and my twin nieces would be taken away. In order to keep them in our family with us, I decided to become a foster mom. And sure enough, things happened. The children were taken, and I took all four of them, even though the boys was of no relation, and I didn't have to. And so, but I took them anyway because I knew them, and I wasn't going to just let them go. Of course, it we don't appreciate it as much as like everything else. But nonetheless, life lesson learned. And I haven't seen them in about 2 years, so kind of the first year was just I couldn't bear the idea, but by now it's like do what you gotta do. I know what I did, and the court papers speak for itself. So hey, but at the same time, now I have my son, and far be me, to be the one to say everything I was going to do, everything I wanted to do in life to do it. I said I wanted to be a mom. I said no pregnancies before the age of 30. I said I wanted to be a mom, but I didn't want to be a baby mama. I want to be a wife. I don't want to be nobody's wifey. No way in the world. Wifey is that class A little hoe. Oh, that's my wifey right there. Okay, wifey is the one who lets you pimp her out. Wifey is the one who met you. You are her pimp. Wifey is the one you dog and trash and go home to at the end of the day. Wifey is the suitable hoe. Wifey is the one that will let you trash all over her. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how anybody gets offended by it. Wife. Change my last name. If not, you don't own me. Do not call me wifey. Point blank, period. Do not call me baby. You did not have me. You did not cradle me. I am not your baby. Because you know what? Calling me baby, you're calling 6, 7 other women baby. Anybody can say what they want to say. Anybody can get mad with it. Anybody want to say they don't care. I'm wifey. I'm number one. I will always be his wifey. But anyhow, like I said, so, now it's like, oh, they tried to break me by not supporting my son having a birthday party, and I move into this house. So now it's like, oh, now I got a better house and I'm in a better area, because I was in a horrible, horrible, horrible neighborhood where it was crazy. It felt like I lived in the slums. But he's going to have one, and whoever shows up, and whoever don't is their loss. I'm not going to battle this thing anymore, and I'm not going to let anybody twist me and make my mind go somewhere where it shouldn't go. Anytime you sit up there and say I should have been a whore, because at least if I would have had 6, 7 kids, my kids would have been welcomed. I would have had a baby shower. I would have had this, that, and the third. I wouldn't have had to worry about anything else. Nobody bought my kids a freaking taffy. Her, but it's kind of like, well, he's too small and this, that, and the third. So now I completely cut it off. Nobody's gonna buy her anything if they don't buy him anything. Point blank, pure and simple. It is what it is, and I refuse. I flat out refuse to feel like I did something wrong in life. I flat out refuse to believe I should have, like, everything I went through in life is a waste. No, it isn't. Everything I went through in life led me to my son. Point blank, period. Everything. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We are worthy of each other. We are who we are. I am not apologetic for being me. I will not apologize for my son. And I will teach him how not to apologize for who he is. Unless he tries to step out of line with me. But that, we'll cross that bridge. Hopefully they're still on YouTube. But yeah, other than that, like I said, people will have you thinking like crazy, crazy, crazy things. I'm thinking to myself, would it have been like this if I was like everybody else? Because everybody else had a shower. And I felt like a lot of my family members, especially a lot of my cousins, should have had my back more than anything. Should have been the ones to call me and say, well, what happened? Why did I hear about this? Like, you don't even go to that church. And some of you don't even go to church at all. So how did you hear about what happened in church that day? You understand? Like, that's where I was at that point. And I'm thinking, you know what? Forget this. Maybe I should have just been a whore. Well, no. It's like this. Whoever shows up that day shows up. Christening day and adoption day are totally different. If you turned your back on me then, you're not going to stand up with me when I adopt my son. That's how I feel about it. Never let anybody twist who you are. You are who you are. Your name is what it is, and your name. I said, like I said, my son's name is long, but I set him up for greatness. You know, my name is short, but my first name means to be born again. It means godly woman. I will not let anybody take me below my name.